Welcome to RawTake, everyone, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. I'm your host, Gion Thomas, and it's good to be back. Y'all know the Texas, we just went through a horrible, once every 20 year, I guess, winter storm. I mean, it was crazy. Something that, I know the time I've been in Texas, I've never experienced anything like that before. So yeah, man, that was real crazy. Power outages. I mean, stuck in the cold. People didn't have running water for a couple of days. I mean, it was just a total breakdown of our system. I mean, it was a failure of leadership on so many levels. And with that leadership failure, you have to hold people accountable. And Ben Shapiro fails to hold Ted Cruz accountable. Ben Shapiro is defending Ted Cruz's actions of leaving his constituents out in the cold, freezing and dying. People died. 24 people died during this horrific event, during this crisis. And Ben Shapiro takes time out of his day to stand and defend Ted Cruz. I mean, what kind of spineless worm are you? I mean, Ben Shapiro is supposed to be such a great intellectual, such a smart person, but you're defending someone you're defending someone's actions who is undefendable. You can't defend leaving people out, leaving your constituents, the people that you are supposed to serve. You're leaving them out in the cold to die. Let's take a look at a clip from Ben Shapiro, one of what he said.
To dunk on Ted Cruz. But the way that this is being played in the media is that this is some sort of referendum on Republican policy in some way, which is weird, because what the hell does this have to do with policy? Again, it has to do with the politician making an absolutely bad tone-deaf optical decision. What does it have to do with policy, per se? I think the answer here is pretty obvious. Not much.
Do you see this guy? He talks about that this is not a referendum on Republican policy. Of course this is a referendum on Republican policy. And that this has not much to do with policy? What are you talking about? Our infrastructure is mainly dependent upon gas and oil, something that is outdated. I mean, and then plus the deregulation, all the stuff that accounted for this, and you want to say that this has nothing to do with policy? And then Ted Cruz, the guy who is against the Green New Deal, a guy who's for deregulation. Someone who's against immigration. This guy went to Cancun, New Mexico to get away from this. He went to Cancun. He went to go have a good time. He went to escape. He was in a crisis. He was trying to take his family out, and then he threw his daughters underneath the bus. How could you throw your daughters underneath the bus? They come out and with the text messages, because people just don't like Ted Cruz. So one of the neighbors who they sold him downriver and was like, hey, this guy he wasn't going down there for his daughters. They were trying to escape. That's what any normal, rational person would try and do during a crisis. But everybody doesn't have the privilege. They don't have the luxury. They don't have the finances just to escape and go to the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun and lay low for a couple of days until the power grid comes back on. How could you not say this is a referendum? Of course, this is a referendum on Republican policy. Y'all deregulate. Y'all. We haven't. How come we are having crises like this every so often in the Texas Houston area? I mean, we're having 100-year floods every couple of years. I mean, storms. I mean, Houston. Oh my God, the level of blackouts that we had, the temperatures that we had. Seattle didn't even have that. Places up north didn't even hit that low. And for Ben Shapiro to come out and defend this is just that is asinine. How could you do that? I mean, you're supposed to be this super smart, intelligent person, but you won't call out let's take another look at this clip. He talks about hypocrites.
For you to be a true hypocrite, you have to actually foster support for a rule, or in many of these cases, implement a rule yourself and then not abide by the rule. Right? You have to be a governor who advocates for a lockdown and then you break the lockdown. You have to be a mayor like Lori Lightfoot who says, don't go out and get your hair done and then go out and get your hair done. Right?
So he says that he's saying that Ted Cruz is not a hypocrite. Of course Ted Cruz is a hypocrite. And you're a hypocrite too, Ben. Ben Shapiro, when a couple of months ago, when Nancy Pelosi came out and was eating ice cream, he talked about how tone deaf that was. This is the exact same thing, Ben. You're being a hypocrite. You and Ted Cruz are hypocrites. Y'all will talk about how y'all are not for the Green New Deal. You're not for the government oversight, but that's the things that happened. That was the breakdown. That was the breakdown in our system. It's crazy how Ben Shapiro would be such a hypocrite. And it's like, dude, like Republicans, y'all don't realize, y'all say something and then like a week later, 2 months later, y'all be like, oh yeah, what? Like y'all have no ground to stand upon except that y'all attack Democrats. I mean, I understand. I mean, exactly what Nancy Pelosi did, that was tone deaf. But attack Ted Cruz too. Have a backbone. Don't be a mouthpiece for the Republican Party. Stand for truth. I mean, that is just asinine that you would defend Ted Cruz. I mean, come on, man. You're supposed to be Harvard alumni, man. Hold these people's feet to the fire. It's wild. To me, it's just wild. It's disingenuous. And Ben Shapiro's a hack. This just goes to show that he and so many other Republicans, and most people who follow politics, because people just play so loyal to a side, to a party line, like it's sports. Like, no, this is not sports. You need to call out whoever's doing bad. If they do something wrong, you call them out. You hold their feet to the fire. That's why we have this. That's why we have politicians who don't do anything for the people, because we don't hold their feet to the fire. And I'm glad people called out Ted Cruz, because then he came back home and he got caught in a lie. Threw his daughters underneath the bus. Ted Cruz, you are a worm, a spineless, feckless worm, dude. You're despicable, just disgusting. What kind of man are you? You're a spineless, oh my God, dude. You ain't got no cojones, bro. You are a worm. Useless. I mean, Trump walked all over your woman, walked all over your wife. You didn't say nothing. You throw your daughters underneath the bus. They come out with the evidence that y'all were trying to flee. Dude, you are a worm. A spineless, feckless worm. I hate people like you. You don't deserve to be in power. The people of Texas deserve so much better. I mean, they deserve someone who's going to do for the people, who's going to look out for people, who can't just get in a plane and just jet off. I mean, dude, that's bad optics. That is horrible optics. And then Ben Shapiro wants to say, well, what else could he do? I mean, there's so much more he could have did. And our next story, that we're going to talk about what AOC did for Texas. AOC. That's crazy. A congresswoman from New York did more than Ted Cruz. That's wild. But anyway, y'all. Now, it's just, man, I'm just at a loss of words. And Ben Shapiro, you're a hack, and you're a feckless worm too, dude. I mean, you're a hack and you're a feckless worm, and you don't have any kind of real policy. You don't care. You're just any way you can try and push the narrative and attack the Democrats. You're a hack, bro. You have no moral ground, no morals, no values. I mean, you're just a mouthpiece. You're just a Republican mouthpiece. Dude, you're a puppet. You got somebody hand up you just moving you around, dude. That's horrible. You're a feckless worm like Ted Cruz. All y'all feckless worms. I'm at a loss for words. But anyway, y'all, that's our show for today. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and hit the like button. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, you can also find us on anywhere you can listen to podcasts. We're also on the Anchor app. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a blessed day.